Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I think if you, as a parent, have some hungry children at home, and I hope you don't have hungry children at home because you can't afford feeding them. If you, let's say, go out and you give from the little that you have that you don't give to your children who are starving, you give to other children of some other families, I think you are abusing your children and you might be a criminal. All right, so that's my take on that one. Now, with that being given, I think that once you make sure that your family, the loved ones that you really work for, you go to work not to give to charity, you work to make sure that you survive, and if you have children, you're responsible for their lives. So the same thing is in a city. The same thing is as in a household. You have a community, and the community collects taxes, and then it uses it in infrastructure, right? To build roads and schools and hospitals and so on from the taxpayers' money. They don't take that money and gives it as, I don't know, help to another country just because. But their roads are bad. The hospitals are dirty and old. The schools are cold and dark. Agreed? Agreed. If you don't agree, I hope you live in that kind of country. All right, let's put it this way. I'm very irritated with this piece of news here. So what's going on here? We have New York City. New York City is a sanctuary city, if I remember correctly, which is all for immigrants to stay there. And some said, oh, you like ice cream? We're going to give you ice cream for free. Oh, actually, we don't like ice cream. You can keep it over there. So it's about immigration, the illegal immigration. So some guys just said, well, you know what? You tell us that we should keep immigrants are good and we are bad for trying to stop them, prevent them from entering the country illegally. Therefore, we're going to give them to you since you're far away, New York City. You're far away. So they sent some buses, and now New York City has some problem, as Texas has, Arizona has, California, and so on, those kind of states. So in the southwest. So we have a problem here. New York cannot cope with that because New York has high taxes and people don't like to be taxed, and the billionaires go out. So you're going to tax what? The regular people? Not enough taxes for the infrastructure and the communist system they run over there. And they will not restructure. They will try to get rid of the police officers. All right, imbeciles. But nevertheless, that's their little state and their little city. So we have Fox News here. And listen to this. New York City to hand out $53 million in prepaid credit cards to migrant families, report. Those are not migrant families. Those are guys who enter the country illegally and they are here also. Or whatever they are. So remember, your New York City, whomever administration is in charge of New York City, decided that you guys in New York City have everything you need. Because after all, your taxes go to the city hall, to whatever administration, administer the money, and they give it to you back. In what? In services, in schools, in, as I said, infrastructure. It seems like you guys have everything cleared. You have no poverty of your own in New York City. And I've been in New York City many, many times. So you have no poverty. Everybody is over there A-okay. You all have medical insurance. You're all healthy. And you have your yearly vacation to Tahiti paid by your government, your guys in charge of you over there in New York. No, they take $53 million from, I guess, whom, and gives it to someone else. Now, are you okay with that? Well, if you're okay with that, I suggest this. How about you take about 5 families from the migrants and you house them for about 10 years with their children together? About, I don't know, 30 people. You can do it. Don't say, oh, yeah, give them the money, because you don't feel it. It goes slowly. You're going to feel it. Your children will feel it. Your grandchildren will feel it. So if you're so generous, do it directly. Go and get about 5 families, only 5 families. That's about 2, 4, 6, so about 10 plus their children. Another, let's say, at least 10. So you got about 20 people in your house. And if you're so rich, You can afford. Therefore, you really do what you preach others to do. So I disagree with that. That reminds me of my childhood. And I tell you this story. I had a neighbor, a male neighbor. As I was a child, I was a crazy child. I would like to have myself as a child. Let's put it this way. I don't like sedated children. I don't like that. I like crazy children that do stuff, even do stuff that they're not supposed to. Unfortunately, I hope they don't get too much in trouble. They, arrested or they break something. I mean, break, it's okay. You can put it together. But, things that are irreversible, let's put it this way, or die. But anyway, so I was a crazy kid. And I had a lot of neighbors who liked me because I was a crazy kid. I was doing all kind of things. I was playing all the time. I was fighting all the time. I was imaginative. I was inventing things. I was different than others who were more, I don't know, maybe with more brains than I was. Let's put it this way, because I was crazy and all that. Nevertheless, so I had this neighbor who liked me very much. And he gave me a lot of things because he couldn't have his wife and they could not have children. So he gave me a lot of stuff. He treated me like kind of like his son to a certain extent. Not like his son, but he had something for me. And then his children, so they did some treatment and so on. And in the communist times this occurred. And he had 2 children. I'm friends with them. I know them. I know their names. Anyway, good people. All of them good people. So this gentleman, I did not like because he was behaving towards me better than he was behaving towards his children, or he was behaving towards other children better than he was behaving towards his children. And I, as a child, I saw that I didn't like it. So he was treating me much better. For instance, he would come to our house and we were watching videos on video. We would have video, video. And VCR, yeah. And in communist times, you had like a few families in the whole city who had VCRs. So anyway, so he brought the cassettes. We were VHS. We were watching and so on. So then his children might fall asleep. Instead of taking them up and carrying them home, he would just wake them up and let's go. So, but he was not doing the same thing with other children. I mean, where did I know from? And I never liked that. Or with me. He was not, he was very attentive to other people's children, more attentive to his children. And I, as a child, even if I was at a positive end of his behavior, I understood that the treatment towards me is better than to his own children. As a child, I was outraged, but I couldn't tell him, right? I was, 10 years, maybe a little bit, 12, 13. I didn't like that. I didn't like that thing. So the same thing I don't like now when I see the city of New York giving these guys things that they do not give their own people. $53 million. They don't give to their own children, they give it to someone else's children. Now, I don't think that's right. I think that's criminal. And remember, you guys supposedly vote for these guys. Now, who can, in the right mind, could vote for someone who gets your resources and gives it to someone else, but then doesn't return it to you? Don't give me it's an investment for the, have I been asked? Let's say I'm a New York City resident. Have I been asked? No, I don't like that either. Anyway, here it is. I thought I should just mention it. Prepaid credit cards. Do you know how much abuse is over there? Let me tell you this. How should I put it nicely? In one of my previous jobs, let's put it this way, working for the, how should I put it, with this kind of things, when you have the government providing services to the population, to the disadvantaged population. I saw so many things that those guys in those departments, I was not in the department, but I have access through my department, in that department, through my job as an investigator. I have access to see how people's, the community's resources, financial resources, were used by some hired imbeciles legally to give to others. It was a take from here, give to those. Take from these guys by taxing them, the producers, and giving to these guys that I've been in their houses. I conducted investigations. I knew the dynamic. It was not like poor guys, they were just in bad luck. No. And the government was buying them all kind of stuff that these guys that actually were taxed did not have. I didn't have iPads that these guys, the government, was giving those disadvantaged families. I could not afford to my child to buy iPads these guys were buying over there. I didn't think that's right whatsoever. Why? Because they were doing it without telling us they were doing it. It was all legal, nothing illegal. It was just a transfer of wealth. And many. I will make a lot of videos in the near future about this previous job that I had working for a state, for the government, and as an investigator. Many things I have them right here. And right here that I will tell you. I'm just waiting for the right moment. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.